One of the things that my kids know is even though I'm a biologist, I'm fascinated by astronomy. And they would tell you how many times I woke them up pretty much in the middle of the night to watch a lunar eclipse or to watch a meteor shower. And a few years ago, it was going to be a very clear night. And it was in August, and it was the time of the Perseid meteor shower. So I walked out in our front yard. I got a nice lounge chair. Because where I live in southeastern Massachusetts, I sprayed myself with mosquito repellent, laid down, and watched the show. And one of the things that I began to think about is, despite all the remarkable capabilities of other animals in terms of intelligence, communication, planning, foresight, and everything else, we're the only animal that knew that the Perseids were coming. And we're the only ones that sort of took delight in looking up at this fire in the sky. There is something special about the human animal, and we do not downgrade other animals by pointing that out. Jacob Bronowski once said man is a singular creature. He is not part of the landscape merely, but a shaper of the landscape. Man is the animal who did not find, but came to make his home on every continent. The late Carl Sagan said, "We are the embodiment of the cosmos coming alive and beginning to study itself." And I think that's the responsibility that we bear. And in terms of our presence as the dominant land mammal on this planet, every animal, every living thing on this planet is affected by what we are doing to this planet. But we are the only animal that realizes what's going on, and B, the only animal that realizes that it is responsible for it. So this very idea that humans are singular creatures, to me, I think certainly motivates me, and I think should motivate all of us to realize that the planet is in crisis. We are the cause of the crisis, and we can do something about it. Pessimism is paralytic. We have to be optimistic, but optimism should lead to action. And I'll just give you one example. It's way back in the summer of '69. In my youth, I wanted to visit a friend who was working at Yellowstone National Park. So I hitchhiked all the way from the East Coast to Yellowstone, eventually found him, was introduced to a naturalist associated with the Craighead Project at the University of Wyoming, which studies the grizzlies. And he said, "Would you like to go out on a hike and we'll camp in one of the wilderness areas in Yellowstone that the tourists don't know about?" And I said, "That was great, let's do this." And I had my hiking and camping gear with me. And as we left the trailer from the study, he reached into a footlocker and put on a holster and plopped a .357 Magnum into the holster. And I said, "What is that for?" And he said, "Well, we're going to a place where you are no longer at the top of the food chain." And such places are increasingly rare. And I think we have the recognition of ourselves as singular creatures means that we have a responsibility to preserve truly wild spaces, and many of them, much more than we do currently, where you are no longer at the top of the food chain, and we can experience the wonderment and the diversity of life as it was meant to be. If we fail that, then we do not just fail the rest of the living world, we impoverish and we fail ourselves.